What's going on, everybody? You have Tone here, back with some more Draft League content, this time bringing you guys my battle for week number 4 of the BBL, where this week we are taking on none other than Patmac and his Sacramento Sandslash. His links and stuff will be in the description down below. Be sure to check him out, as well as all the other coaches taking part in season number 9 of BBL. So, I do want to apologize. This battle is actually going to be going up a little bit after week 3. I had I had a delay between week 3 and week 4, so they'll be both going up on the same time as this video is going up. And I also want to apologize if you guys hear any noise in the background. I'm living surrounded by people who got a head start on the 4th of July. But anyway, like I said, we're taking on Patmac and his Sacramento Sandslash, and there you see his team on the right. Solgaleo, Kieran Black, Primarina, Thunderous Therian, Spectrier, Umbreon, Moltres, Amoonguss, Machamp, and Blissey. So, right away, he has a very formidable offensive tandem with Solgaleo plus Kieran Black. Just looking at other like past videos of other people doing a similar core, they've been pretty potent. Can struggle a bit in certain matchups, but I feel like in my matchup I feel pretty okay versus those two. Kieran Black is still the biggest nuisance of the two, but the other thing to take into account is the fact of, well, Patmac doesn't really have much going for him in the hazard department. He made some changes to his team prior to this matchup that actually benefits me, in the sense that he only has one form of hazard setters in general, and that's the Blissey. And I feel like my team can pretty easily take advantage of Blissey, but if he wants to bring rocks, he has to bring Blissey, or else he cannot bring rocks, and no rocks means that I don't have to worry about bringing heavy-duty boots on my Ho-Ho, which is fantastic for me because I can afford to use something else in that regard. Aside from that, though, his team is still pretty balanced-ish, but it still has its problems in terms of, aside from the Solgaleo and the Kieran Black, Primarina is it's a pretty big nuisance to my team. I don't really have the best switch into water plus fairy. Thunderous Therian is also a problem. Granted, my ground type is a Landorus, but despite that, I have to bring Landorus just to not get full switched on my entire team. You may look and say, you have a TOGEDEMARU. TOGEDEMARU gets destroyed by Focus Blast if he hits, so there's also that. And then Spectrier, granted I have a normal type in Regigigas. Regigigas is kind of struggles against his offense, and then Pangoro has a similar vibe. But that aside, though, I still feel comfortable about the team I ended up building for this matchup. So yeah, without further ado, jumping into the team. So first off we have is my Mew. So this is the primary win condition for this matchup. Yeah, there's not much on Patmac's team that can take the combination of fighting plus ghost plus psychic. And granted, I did not really want to bring Psychic Fangs, but I do have to respect that the Amoonguss has the ability to take any +1 hit from Mew if I do not bring Psychic Fangs. Granted, I do have a Ho-Ho to check the Amoonguss. I'm still pretty skeptical about trying to set up while that thing is around, especially if it has the ability to get rid of my boost, survive any hits, go for foul play, or anything like that. So I do want to just cover my bases and make sure I have a means of hitting the Amoonguss super effectively, which is where Psychic Fangs comes in. Also doubles as a means of hitting Machamp, I guess. But other than that, though, Drain Punch plus Poltergeist hits everything else on his team for a good chunk of damage. It's a very straightforward EV spread, with enough speed to guarantee outspeed Spectrier after a Dragon Dance, max HP for as much bulk as possible, and the rest goes into attack, just to bolster my just to bolster my hitting power on this Mew set. And Kasi Berry is literally only there just to take a super effective Shadow Ball from the Spectrator. Nothing much else to say about that. Next up is the sort of backup win condition, but not really. But we have a Scolipede here with Poison Jab, Throat Chop, Rock Slide, and Spikes. Now, Spikes was a last-minute thing. I originally had Protect on this, but I swapped it over to Spikes just because of the fact that, as I mentioned, Patmac doesn't have the best hazard setters. So I'm free to get up. I'm free to pretty much invoke a sort of hazard stack sort of playstyle with my team, as if he decides to bring removal, his removal will be in the form of Defog. Basically between the Moltres and the Thunderous, and if he decides to bring Defog, and he has Stealth Rocks up, he has to get rid of his own rocks, which benefits me. So my game plan is to pressure stall him with hazard stacks to put myself in a position to end up winning this game with my Dragon Dancing Mew, and Scolipede is here to provide I do just that. Spikes are really, really nice for chipping away at everything that is not Thunderous or Moltres. If he has heavy duty boots on something, primarily it would probably be on the Kyurem Black, I would know, so that means he's not a boosting item or anything of the sort. I could have had Megahorn here, but Megahorn really only hits the Umbreon, and I'm not really worried about trying to like beat Umbreon 1v1 with my Scolipede. I'm more so concerned about just getting chip damage wherever I can, get up some spikes to wear down his bulkier stuff, which is what this set is really designed to do. Rock Slide is literally only here for Moltres, and I guess Kyurem Black, but not really, but the main target is Moltres, and Throat Chop is here over Earthquake or Megahorn, as it gives me a means of hitting both the Solgaleo as well as the Spectrier super effectively, so I don't have to pick one or the other. So yeah, this is a straightforward 252-252 set, as Adamant Nature lets me guarantee outspeed a Jolly Max Speed Solgaleo. Granted, I don't really see the need for him to run max speed. And for the most part, I really didn't want to run Jolly to outspeed Thunderous, because my thought process with the Scolipede is to try to get in on a Pokemon I know for a fact Scolipede can outspeed, and considering he has a bunch of fatter Pokemon, I can easily come in and give my free speed boost if I survive any one hit. So that's the idea with the Scolipede, and of course Expert Belt is here just to get a little bit of extra chip damage on super effective hits. Then next up is my Chartyberry Ho-Ho. So yeah, finally bringing a non-heavy duty boots Ho-Ho to this game. Sacred Fire, Brave Bird, Ancient Power, and Roost. Ancient Power is a weird a weird move for Ho-Ho to run here, but it does give me the ability to guarantee to a KO Moltres, even though I am Adamant Nature. Max HP Moltres does get to a KO by Ancient Power, and if I'm able to somehow get an Ancient Power boost, this does work. So that's the other benefit of Ancient Power. Sacred Fire plus Brave Bird hits everything else on his team neutrally, which is nice. And then I just have Roost here for some extra longevity. As for the EVs, the 20 speed lets me guarantee outspeed a modest max speed Primarina. The HP and special defense investment lets me guarantee take a timid choice specs Hydro Pump from Primarina from full, and the HP and the defense lets me guarantee take a Life Orb Fusion Bolt from Kyurem Black from full. So yeah, there's that, and then I just throw the rest into attack, Adamant Nature, to give my dual stab attacks a bit more oomph behind their damage output. So moving on, we have my Choice Scarf Tapu Fini. Now originally Tapu Fini wasn't even on this build. I originally had Pangoro in this slot, but after looking at Tapu Fini from a more offensive perspective, Tapu Fini actually does do some work in this game, especially considering I have the ability to revenge kill a non-setup Kyurem Black with Moonblast. Like, I doubt he would expect me to bring a offensive Choice Scarf Fini. I think if anything he would expect it to be a bit more defensive, to like take hits better from maybe Solgaleo, but I figured if I went the defensive route with Finny, I wouldn't really accomplish much, especially if he brings the Amoonguss, when I'll be forced to, like, play around it with my Ho-Ho and all that stuff, and I didn't really want to get into that, so I figured just go the offensive route with Tapu Fini. If anything fat wants to come in on Finny, you have the ability to trick it a Choice Scarf, so it's not really that big of a deal. More so, this is just a means of being both offensive and still having the means of being defensive, as even though I'm not really bulky on this type of Finny, it still has the ability to take specific hits, especially from its more passive stuff. So, yeah, that's all really I want to say about this. Dual Stab just hits everything. Ice Beam is literally only there for the Amoonguss, and then Trick to cripple one of his fatter mons. Modest max attack with enough speed to guarantee outspeed Spectrier with a Choice Scarf, and the rest thrown to HP. Nothing much else to say about that. Then we have my Stealth Rock, Rock Polish Landorus with Edgequake. This is another mon that could potentially act as a win con depending on the situation. Obviously, this Landorus does need a few things to go its way. The main thing is to get rid of the Kyurem, or if I have a Rock Polish up, pray I hit a Stone Edge. Primarina being on also helps. Other than that, though, this is just my way of just getting up rocks. Damage stuff with Earthquake plus Stone Edge, as he doesn't really have an Edgequake switch in, and then Rock Polish in case I need to get a late game sweep going. And I see the opportunity, I will click Rock Polish. Granted, it just depends on what he decides to bring and what's left on his side of the field. So this is just a very straightforward set, max HP with enough speed to guarantee outspeed. This outspeed's Primarina guaranteed. And then the rest is just thrown into attack to just hit as hard as possible. Nothing much else to say about that. And then finally, I debated this last month so much, as I really didn't know what to run in for my number 6 slot. But after some debating and convincing myself, I decided it was time for the debut of the Togedemaru. Yes, Choice Scarf Togedemaru is coming to this matchup. Basically, I had no other means of... I was really concerned about Kyurem Black, especially if it had a Dragon Dance up. I wanted something on my team that has a means of outspeeding and potentially revenge killing it. If Kyurem Black gets up 2 DDs, I will auto-lose. But I figured if I am able to, at the very least, prevent him from getting 2, then it works out for me in the end. And I honestly don't think you're going to look at my team and you're going to say, wow, the biggest threat to my team would probably be being revenge killed by a Scarf Togedemaru. And any PU player worth their grain of salt knows that this is probably not the most common set in the current Sword and Shield meta, but this was the go-to set in Sun and Moon. And of course, it has to be nicknamed after the person who, of course, invented Choice Scarf Togedemaru, or else I'd never hear the end of it if he does watch this. So yeah, Dual Stab, Zing Zap plus Iron Head hits everything. Yes, there is a Thunderous Therian on his team that I cannot touch with this, but the idea with that, if he brings the Thunderous, is just to U-turn out. This doesn't really do much else. And then the last move I have is Encore. Toxic I consider, but Toxic doesn't really help me, especially considering if Misty Terrain is up. Toxic, I really only Toxic everything that's not Solgaleo. Well, basically I Toxic... The stuff I want to Toxic doesn't outweigh the stuff I want to Encore. If I'm able to Encore like Kyurem Black into Dragon Dance or Substitute, whatever move he wants to go for, or any other mon that's not attacking me, I can Encore him into that move and then put myself in a position to maybe go into one of my other set of sweepers, get up Spikes with Scolipede, get up a Stealth Rock or Rock Polish with Landorus. So yeah, I have a bunch of outs that I wanted to exploit in this situation. So yeah, I figured Encore would be a much better option as opposed to Toxic in the 4th slot. So yeah, max attack, max speed, because I have to respect Kyurem Black. And then not much to say about that. So yeah, that is the team, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let's head on over to the battle. Alright guys, so here we are with the battle versus Patmac and his Sacramento Sandslash. So yeah, hopefully he's... oh, never mind, we're just gonna jump right into it. And this is pretty much more or less what I expected. Surprised to see the Machamp though. No Amoonguss is great. So let me just jot this down real quick. And he really does not like Ho-Ho as a lead. Like, at all. I mean, granted, if he leads off with, like, I think the only real bad lead for me would probably be if he led Primarina, but this is more or less what I was expecting. The Blissey comes, so there's definitely going to be Stealth Rock on that. But my strategy still looks fine in terms of Hadra stacking. I'm just going to lead off with my Ho-Ho. I see nothing wrong with, doing that. He did not really bring the best Brave Bird switch-ins, and even so, no Thunderous either. That's actually that's also pretty good. So that's one less thing I have to worry about. No Thunderous means I don't have to be more specific with my landers. I also get free Earthquakes off if I'm able to get rid of the Ultras. Alright, so he picked his lead. And here we go. Alright, good luck, have fun to Patmac. We played him once before in Pack, and we came away with a nice win in that regard, so hopefully we're going to go 2 for 2 in this regard. So let's see, what are you leading? Goro. Okay, Machamp lead. And nice Brave Bird switching, bro. That's all I'm going to say. I guess he was expecting like a Landorus lead or something. Oh, Cobra Berry. Okay, I see you, Patmac. I see you. I see you. Nah, I see your Cobra and I raise you a Chardy Berry. Nah. So we're just gonna Brave Bird again. I don't see the point. Okay, so this was his way of trying to get my Ho-Ho out the way super early. Really clever. Unfortunately for him, I was prepared. I wanted the Chardy Berry for the Solgaleo, but that's alright. So now I think he just has to let this go down. It was a good idea though. I really like the Cobra Berry. What's he going into? Is this a Primarina? Okay, I'll take the damage on Primarina too. And that is defensive as hell. And he's Rocky Helmet. Okay. Well. Okay, so he somewhat succeeded. My Ho-Ho was down turn 2, but for the most part, it did its job. I got to weaken Primarina, though, which is nice for my Scolipede. And for my Landorus. Alright. At this point, though, I don't need to force the issue here. I'm just going to go straight out into my Scolipede. So he's Fizdef Rocky Helmet. At least he's not offensive like Specs or whatever. That's actually better for me. I'm just gonna Poison Jab. I don't think he would risk going hard Solgaleo. And even if he does, I don't really care. The only downside to this is the fact that I can't intimidate it. I can't intimidate it because of its ability. That's like literally the only bad thing about this is that whenever I go Landers, I have to like take the full brunt of the hit. So he's really debating whether or not to switch out, or he could just sack Machamp. That would probably be the best case scenario for him to do is to sack Machamp. Because Machamp doesn't do much else to anything else. I'm like, oh, he gives me... Okay. And that's down. Perfect. So I take the Rocky Helmet chip, but Primarina being down is great for my Landorus. And it's also one less thing to deal with for my Dragon-Anting Mew. Perfect, perfect, perfect. If he goes Moltres, I'm just gonna Rock Slide. Lionel, that's a Solgaleo. Yep. So I am not going to attack this thing. I'm just going to go straight out into my Landorus. As much as this sucks that I can't intimidate it, Scolopede's too valuable still. Full Metal Body, can't lower its attack. Flame Charge, okay. And it's a good thing I didn't attack. Because if he was weakness policy, I probably would have lost. So yeah, I'm definitely not attacking you. I'm just going to get on my rocks. Definitely just getting on my rocks here. There is no way I'm risking you popping your weakness policy. Nah. Not going to happen. He's going to switch, though, into Moltres. That's fine. Get them rocks up. Yeah, he did not bring removal, so these rocks are here to stay. That's great. I'm just gonna Stone Edge. I mean, this might be a bad play in theory, but if he attacks me, he's just gonna U-turn. Okay. Okay, U-turn makes sense to scout for if I had Stone Edge. I mean, I would, but I don't. He probably didn't want to risk him. He probably didn't want to risk his attack not knocking out my Landorus, which is a fair play. So what's he gonna go into? Is he gonna sack off Machamp? That's what I'm assuming he's gonna do. Because there's no way he's going to go Blissey or Kyurem on this. Okay, it's the Machamp, yeah. So he is going to make the Machamp sack. That's fine. Don't kill it, that's fine. I'm just going to Stone Edge again. The fact that he's Hobo Berry means he's no guard. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Alright. So Machamp goes down. This does give him the free switch into Kyurem, though. That's a big problem. Yep, Kyurem is out. And it is Boots. Good. So he's not Life Orb or whatever. You know what? Let's just do it. Hard Togedemaru. Hard Togedemaru. Let's go, Yogi. Icicle Spear. Okay. That did a lot. Oh, he only got 2 hits though. It sucks. From here though, I believe I'm just going to. I could just Iron Head, but I feel like he's going to switch to Solgaleo. So what I want to do instead is I'm just going to go and just. I'm just going to U-turn. If he Dragon Dances up as I U-turn, then good on him. Or he goes Hard Blissey. Oh, okay. That's fine by me. So now I'm just going to bring back out my... Let's go back into my... Yeah, words. Back into my Landorus. and just get the damage on this. Cause I get rid of this. I get rid of this and this frees up my Finny. Cause this is definitely the Finny switching. So I'm just gonna Earthquake. If he goes in the Moltres, he goes in the Moltres, but I don't really care about that. I care about getting rid of this. If he has Ice Beam, he has Ice Beam. I can't really do anything about that. He can also just maybe get up his rocks or teleport out. I don't know. Big damage. He's soft boiled. Okay. I guess he was just trying to gauge the damage on my my Landorus. So he sees it's a 2 KO. I'm actually going to click Stone Edge this time. I don't really need to make this play, but I get damage off on this, and it also punishes him going hard into Moltres. He could. I don't think he would go Solgaleo though either, which is why I'm Stone Edging. I feel like if he switches, he's going to go into Moltres. He does switch. Show me Moltres. Let's go. Please hit. Please. Come on, Landorus. Come on, Landorus. Let's go. And goodbye, Moltres. And I crit for good measure. Oh my god. I don't know if that crit mattered. I don't know his investment. But now, as an unfortunate crit. But with that, my Earthquakes are free. You know what else is free? This coming in on me. Again. Now then. The question is, do I do the same thing again? Please tell me you're not. Okay, good. I was afraid you were going to disconnect there. But you know what? You know what? Let's do it again. I'm going to do it again. I really don't see him having a means of hitting me. Like in terms of super effective coverage. Like I didn't talk about this earlier with the fact of me being Iron Barbs over Lightning Rod. I can't Lightning Rod him on with a Mold Breaker. So if he predicts me and he has Earth Power, then good play. But if he Earth Powers me, I'm just gonna go right into Finny and Moonblast. That's all I'm gonna say. Like really, my Kyurem Black switching is literally an offensive Togedemaru. That's literally all I have right now. Back into Tog. Ice Spear. No, Dragon Claw this time. Okay. And that is a clean 2 KO. But get Iron Barb's chip, which is good. And now I'm just gonna Iron Head this time. If he goes Solgaleo, he goes Solgaleo. I don't really care about Solgaleo at this point. I really don't care about Solgaleo. As long as I don't pop his weakest policy, I'm good. I am super okay with that. I need this gone more than anything. Iron Head comes off. Clean to a KO. He dragged. Oh god, no. Oh no. Oh, he doesn't know. Oh my god, please. Please don't switch. Please don't switch. No, 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 no. Let's go, baby. Togedemaru, the Uber Slayer. You love to see it. You love to see it. Togedemaru taking out the Uber. This Uber, though, is a different story. Oh my god. I think I just found my thumbnail title. Togedemaru, the Uber Slayer. But anyway, I want to go right into my Finny. Right into Finny. And I'm going to immediately trick this. I cannot believe it. Skirt TOGEDEMARU. Flame charge, yep. And I am just going to immediately click trick. Because I'm either crippling this or I'm crippling Blissey. It's one or the other, and preferably I want it to be this. But it's going to be Blissey instead. That's fine. You could take the rocks, and you could take this choice scarf. Alright, so I really don't think he's going to lock himself into a status move. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to make the play and go hard into my Scolipede. And the only reason why I'm doing this is I want the spikes. I want those spikes. I want the extra hazard damage for the Solgaleo. And basically I get up at least... Depending on what he does here, I could potentially get up 2 layers. Maybe 3. I mean, pending he doubles right now. No, he did Seismic. Okay, so he's going to lock us up in the Seismic Toss. I'm okay with that. Alright, so if he doesn't switch out right now, I am going to get up at least 2 layers of spikes, which is fine. So we spike up. This is just basically ensuring that I want him to take me out, basically. I want him to take out Scolipede so I can bring in my Mew for free and then Dragon Dance up and win. That's pretty much what I'm going for right now. So I will give him Scolipede if it means I get to end game with Mew like I wanted. That's all I care about right now. If he goes into Solgaleo, I'm just going to go right back into Finny. Ideally he knocks me out right now. That's the best case scenario for me. This is taking longer than I thought. Okay, there we go. Alright, so he's just going to take me out, which is what I want. So, Scolipede's going to go down here, but he did get up 2 layers of spikes. Alright, Scolipede goes down. And now I go out into my Mew, I DD up, and I win. That's pretty much what I'm getting from this. That's pretty much how I'm seeing this right now. I go out into my Mew, I DD up in its face, and I win. For safety purposes, I may DD again and then attack. But regardless, Dragon Dance up. I don't see a situation where Solgaleo takes me out in 1 hit, especially from full, or whatever health I'm going to be at after. Well, it depends on if he stays in. Okay, he switched. Okay, that's fine. Back out comes Solgaleo. Take the Stealth Rock. Take the spikes. And now I DD. Yeah, I should live any 1 hit from Solgaleo, DD up again, and Poltergeist. Yep. So now I just DD up again, and... Or not. Seriously? The game saw me Dragon Dancing and was like nah bro, we don't want none of this. Alright, I'm gonna get back to Patmac and see what we're going to do about this. So give me 1 sec, guys. Alright guys, so we're back, and after talking it over with Patmac, we're actually going to decide to call it here, because basically what would have happened was I would have DD'd again for safety. He asked me if I had a way of hitting Solgaleo. I had Poltergeist, and then I would just Drain. I would Poltergeist, knocked out the Solgaleo, and Drain Punch knocked out the Blissey. So, despite the disconnect, we're actually going to call it here as a 4-0 win in my favor. So yeah, some things definitely went right for me, with the exception being the disconnect, as I really wanted to show you guys the Mew endgame that I was building up for. But yeah, everything went according to plan. Ho-Ho did its job, just weakening stuff, taking out weakening the Primarina. Cobraberry Machamp was a really cool set. But shoutouts to Scarf Togedemaru. Coming up big in its debut match, taking out the DD Kyurem Black. That was so incredible. And hopefully I never dissuade my thoughts or whatever. But yeah, this was a fun game for sure. Everything that could go right for me did go right for me. Predicting the Moltres coming in, the Stone Edge with my Landorus, that was fantastic play. I think it was just a rough matchup for him all around, considering what I brought, and the stuff that he wanted to pressure me with was kind of a little bit non-existent, but he had outs, but it really came down to trying to set up with Kyurem a whole lot quicker. And granted, I didn't really have the defensive responses. I felt offensively I was okay against it, and that's pretty much what it came down to in this matchup. So yeah, this is going to be a 4-0 win for us. The last 2 kills will just go to Mew. So 2 kills Mew, 1 kill Scolipede, 2 kills Landorus, and of course 1 kill for little Togedemaru. But yeah, that was a fun one though, regardless. I really sucks about the disconnect and everything. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. GG's as always to Patmac. Be sure to check him out in the description, as well as all the other coaches taking part in the BBL. We are taking on Tony next week for week number 5, and it's looking to be a pretty exciting matchup. But nonetheless, that's going to be it from me. Hope you guys did enjoy, and until the next time, this is Tone, signing out for now. Peace out.